It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. If you're blind and you're deaf, then you don't actually know what you've done to displease the Father, do you? And even when he tells you what you're doing that displeases him, you're not able to hear him. Because in order to hear the Spirit, you must have an ear that hears, as the scripture says. You must be given eyes that see. Otherwise, you will remain in your blindness and in your deafness and dumbness. So the majority of the world that's around you today is blind, deaf, and dumb. And if they're blind, deaf, and dumb, then they don't actually know how to please the Father. They don't know what he requires in order for them to be pleasing to him. They also don't know when they've done wrong, and they don't know the things that displease the Father. And so they ignorantly go along doing what they feel is harmless, even though it's extremely harmful what they're doing. And they neglect to do the things that are helpful, thinking that it's not helpful because they can't see it. They can't recognize what is actually helpful. They can't see the benefit because they're not able to see or understand who they're trying to please. As the scripture says, Christ came and said, y'all don't know my Father. Just because you think you do doesn't mean you do. But I have come to reveal. So if the Father was already revealed and everybody understood what was necessary or what was needful, then why did he have to come revealed? It's because they didn't know, because they were blinded, and they thought they were doing the right thing. Read Paul. What did he say when he was Saul? The things I did when I was Saul, I did it ignorantly, and I went about persecuting the truth, and I didn't even know that I was. I thought what I was doing was pleasing to God. See what I'm saying to you, little flock? And it's like people don't actually hear and check to see if they are in the right alignment with the Father. Once they hear how dangerous it is to be blind and deaf, once you understand, wait a minute, that means I can be doing something I think is the right thing and that I actually think pleases God, but I'm actually doing something that God hates. And I'm persecuting the truth. So let's get some information into a lifestyle of a person who thinks that way, who's blind and deaf. Well, let's use Saul as our example. What did he say he did? He focused on his fleshly life. I am a Benjamite. I am a Jew of the Jews, a Pharisee of the Pharisee. I call them far from sea, just like Saul admitted he was when he was one. I was far from seeing. So do you see why the grandson calls them far from seas? And sad you can't see? The Sadducees, sad you can't see? Do you see why I call them that? Paul is explaining to you in great detail as to why I call them that. I was of the stock of Benjamin, circumcised on the 8th day of the stock of Israel, a Jew of the Jews, more zeal than everybody else around me. Do you hear that? And so I thought if I remained that way and diligently did those things, that God would be pleased with me. But was he? No, he actually had to tap him on his shoulder and say, you know what? You're actually persecuting me while you think you're serving me. You're fighting against me. You're kicking against the pricks. So now I'm going to put some scales on your eyes where you can't see for a few days. And you're going to have to get the help of your brother so that you can see again. Isn't that what happened to him? He got blinded to represent the fact that he couldn't see even though he thought he could. He was on his way to do some more persecuting when he was actually stopped. Do you see it? He had to be stopped. He couldn't stop himself. He couldn't clear his own vision and clear out his own ears, guys. He had to be physically stopped. Hold on a second. You can't see. You don't know what you're doing. So let me reorient you, or let me make you a new creature. Did he get a new name? Does Yahusha often give people new names? Why? Because they become a new creature when they become spiritually minded. Paul is spiritually minded. Saul is carnally minded. He admitted that himself. So then what do you guys think it is? When you're in the carnal mind, you think what you're doing is right. If you appear like it is, if you're appearing like it is, you see a car when you're in the carnal mind, it looks good on the outside, and so you purchase it. And that's why you purchase it. That's why you do everything you do when you're in the carnal mind, because of how things appear. You buy the diamond encrusted Rolex with the bling coming all off because of how that shit look. Not the fact that it can tell time better than another watch. It may not be able to. It's the fact that it looked the way it looked. That's why you put it on and labored and purchased it. When you purchased that suit that you decided to wear, you purchased it because of how it appeared. Now, there's another side. See, there's another mind that doesn't pick things for that reason. Now, Abba gave you a very great example of this type of way of picking when he said, Samuel, go and go and anoint the next king of Israel. Go to Jesse's house. When Samuel goes to Jesse's house, the anointed one is not even in the house, but yet Samuel's actually opening his mouth and saying, surely this is the Lord's anointed. The Lord's anointed isn't even in the house. So then why are you opening your mouth saying, surely this one is? Well, Abba told you why Samuel said that. Abba came in and said, Samuel, don't look at his outward appearance. So then what was Samuel doing? Click. Samuel, man judges outward appearance. Click. But so why doesn't that matter to anyone? The but I part. Men judge outward appearance, and men read that and go right on ahead doing it in life. The woman that they picked to marry, see, it's about picking. That's called judgment. You pick what you think is good. Nobody picks what's not good. If I have a pile of shit on the table and I have a big giant ass diamond on another table and I said, pick one, which one are you going to pick? So then obviously people don't pick the one that doesn't look like it's valuable. Correct? They pick what looks valuable. That's what men do. Abba doesn't. He picked what is valuable, not what looks valuable. So then when he goes to get the car, he doesn't pick the one that looks like it's the nicest and looks like it's the best car. He picks the car that is the best car. And it may not even look like it. It may look like a lemon. That's why y'all can't get anything done in this world. That's why y'all can't get anything done effectively in this world. It's because you don't judge correctly. Y'all will pick the car based off of how it look. It has an oil leak. It has a transmission fluid leak. It has bad wiring and a computer issue in the inside of it where it trips out every now and again. It needs a tune-up. It has bad spark plugs. The starter only works occasionally. The alternator's damn near about to go out. The battery's low as hell, need to be recharged. And you pick the car because it looked good and it say Ferrari on the back? Y'all niggas are sick as fuck. So that you can drive 2 seconds in that car and somebody goes, woohoo! Look at that guy. He looks sweet as hell in that Ferrari. And then as soon as you get to the next turn, what the hell? This thing isn't worth shit. Yeah, that's what God be trying to tell you human beings. Y'all pick shit that ain't worth shit. Y'all don't know how to judge righteous judgment. If you did, then how come you have to constantly be told that you don't? God said it to Samuel. Yahusha said it to the world. So from Samuel all the way to Yahusha, men still wasn't judging right. Were they? Yahusha said, you judge after the flesh. Look at what I'm saying. So they never changed. They didn't even get the lesson when they read the law and read that right there in Samuel. They're carrying it. The far from seas are carrying that under their arm. The Sadducees is carrying that under their arm while they go around pointing the finger at other people, telling other people that they don't know how to pick right, telling other people they don't know how to do right, telling other people that they're falling short. Nigga, did you read that scroll you got under your arm you carry around everywhere? Did you read it where it says, God don't judge like man judges, for man judges the outward appearance, but Abba judges the heart and the reins, the inner workings, like you should do when you buy a car, nigga, right? Well, yeah, grandson, I mean, that is right. Why'd you say it like that? Because I've just proven to you that over a course of hundreds of years and many generations, man still couldn't judge right. The Messiah came and told him that he still was fucking up. And then it was proven because Yahusha was killed. But a murderer was set free. And y'all want to tell me it ain't dangerous to be in that state of being. It's very dangerous to kill the thing that is valuable and accept the thing that is valueless. That is stupid if you ask me. That's blind as fuck. You bring a murderer into your house and put your arm around him and say, yeah, man, I'm happy to have you back. But the Lord of all glory, you crucify. You say he's no good. You say he blasphemes. You say he breaks the covenant of God, but you accept a murderer when your own law says thou shalt not kill? And y'all can judge right? Y'all niggas is far from seeing. And sad that you can't see. That's what you are. You're hypocrites. You're actors. And what does the actor do? You tell me. When Denzel Washington gets a part to play, he doesn't go there and act like Denzel Washington. That's not who he's going to be when he goes to the set. He's going to be a whole new nigga. So he has to put on the appearance that he is that other person so that you will forget that he's actually Denzel Washington. Have you ever seen a person so associated with a character that you start to call that person by that character's name and no longer by their actual name? You mean to tell me there's no person that ever saw Sylvester Stallone and said, hey, there's Rocky Balboa? You don't think that's ever happened? I bet you it has happened. And you know why? Because he's associated with that character, even though it's a fictional character. Rocky Balboa isn't real. I don't give a damn how many reels he's been played on in front of your eyes. He isn't real. I don't care if they put a statue of this nigga putting his arms up like he won the damn heavyweight championship of the world, talking about, yo, Adrian, I did it. We don't care that you put that statue. It's fictional. It ain't real. You weren't actually fighting. You were acting like you were fighting. You were hypocritos cucaracha when you was in that movie, acting like you was some nigga named Rocky Balboa, but you really are just a nigga named Sly. And you is Sly, ain't you? You acting. That's what hypocrite means. Look it up in the Strong's Concordance and you'll see that that's what Yahusha was calling them. Actors. Y'all paint it up. Is that what he said? Y'all dress it up. Is that what he said? You indeed appear righteous. You like to appear like something? Y'all niggas are sick as hell. Literally. Y'all would rather appear like you are something. Oh my God, how embarrassing is that? How embarrassing and what a perpetrator you are to try to give an illusion that you're rich when you're poor, that you're poor when you're rich, that you're smart when you're dumb, that you're sinless when you're sinful as hell, that you're clean when you're filthy as hell. So then if a man takes a cup, I'll just ask you, if I invited you to my house and I took a cup and I put some drink in there, but you could see that there was all kind of crud and nasty shit inside the cup. And you say, hey, man, hey, before you pour the drink in there, you mind cleaning the cup first? And I take the cup, turn the water on, take the cup, put it under the running water, the outside of the cup, that is. I don't put the inside of the cup. I turn it to the side like this and put it under the running water. Take the washcloth and the soap, dishwashing liquid and everything, and wash the outside of the cup. And then I go to pour the drink in there. You're still going to be like, hey, when I said wash the cup, I actually meant wash the inside of it. That's the more important washing. I noticed you washed the outside, and I'm grateful for that. But I would be more grateful if you clean the inside. You guys all know that's the case. This is why this is so irritating to me at times. Dealing with people and being around people who are that stupid and sottish. Because can't you guys understand why? Look at what I'm describing to you. You wouldn't allow that. But y'all think God will accept it from you. This is the stupidity of it all. You think God will accept it from you, but you will not accept it from your own damn brother. You will be offended if I did that to you, but you think you can do it before God and he's not gonna be? Sick as fuck, correct? Isn't it? Oh, but your sensitivities won't accept that I'm saying it like that. Look how stupid everybody has become. I'll stay stupid, but I'll just focus on the fact that you said that word so strongly and harshly like that I'll just say you're sinful. So then if I do something you deem wrong, then that just negates what you do wrong? That's the kind of people y'all are? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, when you're carnally minded, that's what you become. It don't matter who you are. That's what everybody is when they're carnally minded. They're stupid. They're a beast. They're not what Abba created to be. They're your will. That's not Abba's will. That's your will to be a beast. To be stupid and blind and deaf and retarded like that. I wouldn't accept anybody pouring a drink into a dirty cup and giving it to me. When I go to a restaurant, I won't even eat off a fork that has little water droplet spots upon it. I'll tell that waiter, look at this thing, get me another one. But when it comes to God, you will paint the outside of your body up before men, but your inward parts, what did he call them? They're full of dead men's bones. Isn't that what he said? They're full of dead men's bones. So when you go to a graveyard and dig up a coffin out of the ground, it looks all nice and pretty when you clean it all off and every damn thing. The coffin itself looks all nice and pretty. But when you open it up, y'all ever seen the sarcophagus from Egypt? King Tut and everything, gold and blazoned and every damn thing, faces all painted beautifully, looking all regal and everything, and that statue of the sarcophagus. But when you open it up, what's in there? Stank, dirty, nasty, gross, disgusting. That's what's in there. Death. Well, what is the carnal mind? Kapow! See? The carnal mind is death. So a person who has a carnal mind, they can look as beautiful as they want to look on the outside. But when you crack them open, what do you see inside? The carnal mind, which is what? I come to give you life and give it you life more abundantly. Well, does that have to do with how you look on the outside or what you do on the outside? But look at everybody talking about that's what Christ came to do. He came to tell you what to eat. He came to tell you how to dress. Okay, well, why did he say, take no thought of what you shall eat? Look how I'm sliced your fucking throats. He said, take no thought of what you shall eat and take no thought of what you shall wear. But you niggas said he came to make us focus more on that. What the fuck? Do y'all hear this? Do y'all see this? This is why Abba's going to judge and destroy this disgusting ass world. That's why. That's what this message is about. Why? If we've all been doing the right thing, if we've all been changing our lives for the better and doing what God wants us to do, then how come God's going to destroy it? It's because you ain't doing it. You're not doing what Abba told you to do or what he required or asked or commanded. You ain't doing none of that shit. You just think you are. Because when you're in the carnal mind, can you please God? When you're in the carnal mind, can you be subject to God? So then when you're in the carnal mind, can you do anything? No. Look how easy it is to understand it. If you're carnally minded, then you're dead. And a dead person can't do nothing. So what is the labor that they do called in the Bible? It's called vanity. Read it. Everything done under the sun. Under the sun means in the 3D realm of flesh. Everything done by the flesh is vanity, and it vexes your spirit. See how there's somebody being vexed because of what you do with your flesh? It's the spirit. Who is the spirit? God is the spirit. And they who worship him must worship him in spirit. But if you don't have the spiritual mind, can you worship him in spirit? Now, the spiritual mind, if you don't think the carnal mind is death, why y'all think death is some other bullshit, the carnal mind is death, then how come the opposite of the carnal mind is the spiritual mind, and the spiritual mind is called what? Swing. Life. So I've come to give you the spiritual understanding of what you have carnally been reading. That's what I'm doing. Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. Bread is information. Moses didn't give you the information from heaven. He gave it to you carnal because you were a wicked, adulterous people who sought after a sign. So then Moses took the signs that God told him and commanded him to do and showed them to you because you were wicked. And that's the only way you would believe. And then Yahusha said, y'all won't believe unless you see signs. So then, guys, stop fucking around with the grandson before he slit your throat, too. What do you mean, grandson? Stop fucking around and you slit his throat. Look how you talk. What kind of weapon do I have in my mouth? The one you love. What does it say about his mouth? Out of it comes what? So then the words that he says, what do they do to you? They slice you. They cut you. So then I'm never going to lie about it. So then when I talk, what am I going to do? I'm going to slice and dice and stack the fuck up nice. That's why I talk the way I talk, nigga, because I'm ordained to do it. I have the faith enough to believe that I can talk any kind of way I want to as long as I tell you the truth, because I was told not to lie. Now, what were you told? Thou shalt not lie. Do you lie? Well, every now and again. So then don't say shit else to me until you can get the damn beam, which is the lies, up out of you. I got the lies out so I can see clear enough to see that you niggas don't understand how to talk right, which is y'all niggas use guile. You use trickery. You use deceit. What did Yahusha not have in his mouth? Guile. Deceit. That's what he didn't have. So then what the hell should I be taking out of my mouth? You see how I know how to judge right? But all you guys think you need to take everything else out of your mouth, but you will let a lie slide out. That's bullshit to me. That's disgusting and nasty. That's what Yahushua meant when he said, you strain at a gnat, but you swallow a camel. Isn't that what that is? If you tell people that they need to clean everything else out of their language, but yet they can lie, then you're swallowing a camel, but you're straining at all these little gnats that are insignificant, that don't mean shit to a spirit. A spirit doesn't hear those words. The spirit hears the intent of your heart. That's what he judges, he said. So what the hell you guys want to talk about? Not what it sounds like. If he doesn't judge by the hearing of his ears, then that means he doesn't judge how it sounds. I don't. I judge whether you're telling the truth. That's what I judge you on. If you're not telling the truth, then you're lying. And if you're lying, then you're not doing what the Spirit has commanded you to do. Are you? So, let's get into these scriptures real quick. Malachi, chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 1. What does the name Malachi mean? It means my angel. Did you know that? Malachi means my angel, also interpreted my messenger. Like I've always said, Messenger means angel. You see how the world can't judge? They judge an angel on outward appearance. But that's stupid to do that, because the Bible says that Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. And so his children do likewise. So then there's no need for me to be outwardly looking for signs that a person is an angel. Angel means messenger. So then it's about what come forth out of his heart. What did Yahushua say defiles a man? Look at what I'm saying to you niggas. So Malachi means messenger, also means angel. They mean the same thing. See it there? The burden of the word of I am to Israel by Malachi, by my angel. See that? The burden of the word of I am to Israel by my angel, by my messenger. Y'all hear it? Now let's see what he says. I have loved you, saith I am. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Stop. Wherein means how, or in what way? Do you hear the people's response when the Father says that he loves them? You hear their response? So if you don't think Abba loves you, then you're screwed from the start, because he said he does. So now you're going to call him a liar and say he doesn't love you? And people are like, what is he talking about? Most of you niggas in the world don't think God love you. According to this, I'm proving it. Wherein hast thou loved us? Abba, how you love me? My life's so hard. I'm struggling so much. I can't pay my bill. They talking about evicting me. I gotta work 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. I can't do this and I can't do that. So how do you love me, God? I have loved you, says I am, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? This is Abba. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith I am? Yet I loved Jacob. Did y'all hear that? So Esau was Jacob's brother, yet I love Jacob. What does that mean? Remember, Moses gave you not that bread that cometh down from heaven. You see it, but my Father has now given you the bread that come from heaven. Now, if I'm not giving you no bread that come from heaven, I mean, if I'm not giving you anything that's spiritual, then I'm not giving you any bread that came from heaven. That's what Christ said he came to bring you, life, which is the spiritual mind. How to spiritually interpret what you have read. If you can't spiritually interpret it, then you won't know the truth of it and you won't be free. But once you know the spiritual breakdown of what you have read, now you know the truth and now you're set free. See it? From vain labor. All those who are doing work, trying to get God's good graces and trying to please God, come to me and I'll give you rest for all that psychological turmoil you're putting yourself through. See it there, little flockulators? Continuing. So Esau was Jacob's brother, yet I loved Jacob. What does that mean spiritually? What does it mean? It means the carnal mind is the brother of the spiritual mind. Like I told you about the 2 grandsons, Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. The carnal mind and the spiritual mind. One grandson is all about material. He's all about making it look good. He's all about doing signs and lying wonders. That's what it says. And then the other son is about the heart. The other grandson is about the heart. It's about the truth. It's about real. It's not about outward appearance or signs, because a wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. See how that going? So, yet I loved Jacob. So then which mind does God love? Which world does he love? See? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is it that followeth. Jacob is the spiritual world. Esau is the carnal. The world ran with the carnal mind. It's going to die because that's what the carnal mind is, death. So it can only produce a world that dies. But the world that lives on forever, obviously, is the spirit that cannot die. That's Jacob. So Abba loved the spirit mind, see? And I hated Esau. He rejects the carnal mind. He hates the carnal mind. So let's see. God hates the carnal mind, and it says the carnal mind is enmity against God. Look at that. So what does that mean, little flock? that these are two forces that are an agreement or they're opposing? What would you say? He hates Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Everything the carnal mind builds up, he will destroy it. That's why he said, they shall build up, but I will throw down. I don't care what you think you building with the carnal mind. Moth and rust will decay the shit, won't it? That's what you see happening to every damn thing they build. It gets destroyed. It falls apart. It depreciates in value as soon as the red tape is cut, right? Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, watch, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith I am of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down. Told you, they labor in vain. That's what he's saying. If you build up something with your carnal mind, I'm going to throw it down. Which means if you pick something for outward appearance, it will be destroyed. See why people can't stay married? It's not about nothing else. People think, oh, we couldn't get along. Oh, they showed me the true colors. Oh, they just couldn't cut it. Oh, they just weren't supporting me. Oh, they were abusive. Oh, they were neglectful. Oh, they were this. Oh, they were that. Oh, they were this. What they have been all of, I mean, look, if they are all of that, then how in the fuck didn't you know it? They deceived me. See what I'm trying to say? Looks can be deceiving, can't they? So then why should you judge like that? Well, we see what happens when you do. Shit dies. The relationship will die. That girl's fine as hell. I want her to be my girl. But she is everybody's girl. Whether you know that or not, she'll give that thing to anybody and everybody, man. But you don't think that because of how she looks. You think she's beautiful. She's high priced. She's of high value. Every man would want her. Every man does. And every man can have her. But see how you don't listen to that or don't hear that? So go ahead on and be with her. Watch how long the marriage will last. Look what will happen with the children. Look what will happen to your home. Look what will happen to your finances. It's all dying. And why? Because you didn't judge righteous judgment. You judged a book by its cover, and the book fucking sucked, didn't it? But it looked like it was a good book by the cover. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith I am of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border. See, the left hemisphere, the left side, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom I am hath indignation for how long? Ever. So the carnally minded people, how long does God be pissed off with you? So when I'm being a messenger of I am, and he's speaking through this temple, will he sound like he has indignation toward carnally minded people? That's why you hear it. But you don't know how to judge it right. So then you don't ever get angry or have indignation about anything and talk that way? You don't? In your heart? I don't care what you say outside because I know you guys decorate that. Fuck that. I care what you do in secret, in that secret place. Because that's what I'm judging and that's what I'm looking at when I look at a man. So when you get indignation concerning something, how do you talk about it on the inside of your body? I know on the outside you go, yeah, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's no problem at all. I forgive you. It's all good. Soon that person leave. Motherfucker pisses me off. Every time that bitch comes around, I feel like killing somebody, man. See? You see? You see? Nah, he got indignation forever against the carnally minded. Because the carnally minded is enmity against God and is not subject to God. See? See? Neither indeed can be. It neither indeed can be. Y'all hear that? And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, I am will be magnified from the border. See how it's about the border? It's that split right there in the middle. It's one side and then it's another side. This is rejected. This is accepted. This is the border that separates the two. You hear it? A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, as we call him Abba, only the people of the spirit call him that. That's what the Bible says. Our spirit cries unto him, Abba, Father. See? Just like Yahusha, who was of the spirit, called him Father. He didn't call him some other crap that people today call him. He didn't. He called him Father. My Father. Our Father. That's what he called him. Abba. But look at all these people fighting over what you should call God. He said he came in his Father's name. And what is his Father's name? I am. So do you understand why Yahusha said, before Abraham was, I am, and they took up stones to stone him? They said, not because of any good work you've done, but because you, being a man, make yourself equal with God. See it? Can you hear it? So when you become spiritually minded, how will you talk? You will talk with authority as if you are one with the Father, because there really is only one spirit. And if you have received of that spirit, then you have received of that oneness. See it? If I then be a father, where is mine? Where is his honor, he says? Where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Says, I am of armies unto you. O priest, pay attention, little flocks. Who he talking to? Priest. Sad you can't seize. Far from seeing. Levites. People that think they know what they're doing. He says, listen to me. Watch what he says, little flock. O priest, that what? Despise my name. Stop. So all of these people out today, do they call upon the name of I am? No, the fuck they don't. So then they hate his name. They hate his name. Why would you listen to them then? Why would you listen to them if they hate his name? They despise my name. And you say, wherein have we despised your name? See? They're like, I call on Jehovah every day. What do you mean I hate your name? I call on Jehovah every single morning. I call on Yahweh every day of the week. I call on Yahweh every day. I call on Ahia every second of my waking moment. I call on Ehie every day. I call on Hayah every moment. Wherein have I hated your name? I said use plain speech when you talk to my people. So seeing that we have this hope in us, we use great plainness of speech. Why would I give you a sound that you don't even understand what it means? And then why would I tell you what it means and then still tell you to use the fucking sound? Y'all are childish as fuck. And you say, how have we despised your name? Well, let's see. You offer polluted bread upon mine altar. What is bread? It's information. So priest, when y'all teach a polluted doctrine. That's what he's saying to me. And you say, what? How have we despised your name? You ain't teaching it. That's how you despise it. You're not telling it to people. You're not setting nobody free. You're not telling anybody that they're taking that great, precious name in vain every day. You don't even do it. You don't even rebuke your neighbor. You don't even know that what his sin is because you don't even know what your sin is because you can't judge righteous judgment because you ain't got the spirit, even though y'all niggas think y'all do. Show me you got the spirit by coming in the Father's name then. Like the master you say you love did. You offer polluted bread upon mine altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted thee? Polluted? What does polluted mean? It means it was perfect and fine, and you added some shit to it that made it not fine anymore. That's what it means. You added shit. See, adding sounds and adding all kinds of new understanding and teaching. I found out from some synagogue or some school somewhere, and then now I'm going to tell the people that that's what it is. What good does it do if you don't know the name of I am? What good is it doing? What profit is it? None. It's vain. See how stupid it is? That's why it's polluted to do that. And you say, wherein have we polluted thee? He's going to tell you, in that you say, the table of I am is contemptible. And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, So you offer blind sacrifices. You're proving you can't see the truth when you give a sacrifice to God. Like when y'all cook up meals and say you're going to keep Passover, but yet you're more concerned with how you look on the outside and how you're dressed in front of people. See? That's blind. Obviously, you're blind when you do that. When you say you're making a sacrifice for God, when you take your food that you've made and you take certain things off your plate and throw it in the trash and then eat the other stuff that God considered, that you think God considers to be clean, even though he said, what I have cleansed, don't call him clean. But it's all clean by the sanctification of prayer. Your faithless dumbass don't believe that because you still thinking carnal. I don't think carnal. Carnal is dead. Let the dead bury the dead. But you come and follow after me, the spirit that is. The spirit that is. So what did Paul say? I with my flesh serve the law of sin and death. But with my mind, my spirit, I serve the law of liberty. Continuing. Is it not evil if you offer the blind for sacrifice? Is that evil? And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? So sacrifice is the moment you take out to talk to Abba. So when you take a moment out your day to talk to him, what do you talk about? You prove you're blind when you talk to him, and you offer lame and sick ass words to him. I'm fucked up. Like I told you, but I can't pay my bill. I can't do this. I don't have that same thing the Joneses have. I'm not being able to keep up with them. I'm struggling to do this. I'm struggling to... That's all sacrifice of vanity and lame bull crap and sick and blind to the Most High. What should you give the sacrifice of? If you knew the spirit of the word, you know it. The sacrifice of praise. So does that sound like you're praising I am when you talk like that? Do you even know you're supposed to praise I am? Nope, the priest didn't teach you that, did they? Well, now that you know you're supposed to, what kind of things do you think is actually praising his name? I am sick, I am lame, I am blind. You think that's praising his name? How about I am health, I am beauty, I am wealth, I am strong, I am amazing, I am magnificent, I am omnipresent, I am omnipotent, I am almighty. What about words like that? Do you give him that sacrifice on a daily basis? Nope. Offer it now unto thy governor. Will he be pleased with thee? So the same thing you offer to me on a daily basis, go to your governor and offer him that same thing and see how he feels. Go ahead. Go to him and talk to him the same way you talk to me and see how he's going to receive you. Like I said earlier, if you go to your brother's house and he gives you a dirty cup to drink out of, you're going to be offended by that. But yet that's what you're doing to God. You're offering your body up filthy as hell in your thoughts and in your heart. But the outside and the physical parts of your body are pristine. Your diet is perfectly clean. And how you appear physically is clean and clear and all that shit to people. Indeed, appear righteous to men. See? But your inner parts is all screwed up. So the inside of that cup is dirty. So you do that to God, but you won't let your brother do it. That's what God just said about the governor. See? Will he be pleased with thee or accept thy person? Will he accept that cup you give him with that dirty shit inside? No. So why you offer it to me? See? Or accept thy person, says I am of armies. And now I pray you, beseech El, that he will be gracious unto us. This hath been by your means. Will he regard your persons, saith I am of armies? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for nothing? Neither do you kindle fire on my altar for nothing. I have no pleasure in you, saith I am of host, of armies. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand. See that there? For from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, my name. See how he keeps talking about his name? That's what y'all are polluting. That's what y'all are not teaching. That's what y'all are not holding up in high esteem. That's what you're not sacrificing and praising to. Matter of fact, you have completely neglected it. The inside of the cup. See? I am. From the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles, and in every place incense shall be offered unto what? My name. And a pure offering for my name. He said it 3 times in one verse. For my name shall be great among the heathen, says I am of hosts. See? You're not going to stop it. Just if you neglect to teach it, it's not going to stop it from going forth and becoming great in the land. That's what he's saying. But you have profaned it. You hear that, little flockulators? But you have profaned what? His name. In that you say, the table of I am is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, his information. Hear it? The spiritual breakdown of the word of God. Y'all say that is contemptible. A man came to me one time asking me about a specific thing in the Bible and what was my idea about it concerning it. And he had his own idea. And he told me what his idea was. Well, I think what's being said there is this. And I said, well, what's actually being said there is that. And you know what he told me? This man didn't say, well, hold on now, you're just wrong. And he could prove that I was wrong. He didn't do that. He said, well, okay, well, I'm still going to stick to my belief. You see what I'm trying to explain to you, little flock here? See how contemptible it was? He heard it. He couldn't deny the truth of it, but yet he still remained in his carnal understanding of it. He refused to accept the spiritual understanding, even though he could not deny the validity and the truth of it. Now, look how silly and dumb that is to do that. Verse 13. You said also, behold, what a weariness is it! Exclamation point. And you have snuffed at it. Shit ain't nothing. So y'all snuff at the spiritual understanding concerning the word of God. Y'all only accept flesh. Why? Because the world, Esau is the world, the end of the world. Jacob is the world that follows. Those two different worlds. The world hears its own. So people that are carnally minded will only hear carnal breakdowns of the word of God. And they consider the spiritual to be contemptible, to be polluted, to be something wrong with it, to be not acceptable. That's what you just read and heard. So then what happens when you reject the spirit? You die. Watch this. But you snuffed at it, says I am of armies, and you brought that which was torn, lame, and sick. Thus you brought an offering. This is how you brought an offering, is what he's saying. Should I accept this of your hand, says I am? Shall I accept the offering like that? That's tore up, nasty, disgusting, and weak. I should accept that from you. But cursed be the what? The deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth, and sacrificeth unto I am a corrupt thing. So you had in you a spiritual seed that could have received the truth of it, but you reject it. You won't even allow it. You see it? See how he says they don't enter in, and neither do they allow those who are trying to get in to get in? See it? You see it? So you had the spiritual inside of you. That's where he put it, but you refuse to let it accept and let it grow and let it become. So what happened? You sacrificed a corrupt thing instead. The carnal mind is corrupted. So you try to serve him with that instead. Ain't going to work. He said you're a deceiver if you try to do that. That's what he just called you. You're a cursed deceiver if you try to serve him with the corrupt thing. What is the corrupt thing? The spiritual mind or the carnal? Which one is corrupt? Swing! For I am a great king, says I am of hosts, and my name, see, he just keeps coming back to it. My name is dreadful among the heathen. Y'all see that there, little flockulators? Now go to chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 1. And now, O ye priests, see how he's still talking to the priests, the Sadducees, the far from seas, Levites, and all of them niggas that thought they know the way. He's talking to them. He proved they don't know because they're carnal. You see, as it is this day. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. So who is this commandment we about to read for? The priest. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name. So if you won't listen to me tell you that that's what I want you to do, and you don't lay it to heart and remember that that's what I want you to do, which is what? Give glory to my name, I am, like the grandson keep telling y'all not doing. Ask them, look and see if they are. Don't just listen to me say they aren't. Y'all listen to all kind of people. Do they come in the name of I am? Then why are you listening to him? Oh, because he said he's a priest? Because he said he's a prophet? Well, look what Abba's saying about priests. Lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, says I am of hosts. What will happen if you don't give glory to his name? I will send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yeah, I have cursed them already. So if you don't praise the name of I am when you teach people, if you don't teach people about the name of I am when you so-called teach the word of God, then he will curse your ass because you're a deceiver. Yeah, I have cursed him already. So then he's already cursed you because you do not lay it to heart. Lay what to heart? His name. He just told you that. So what's people's error so far we've read? Not giving glory to the name of I am. That's what it is. And if you look around in the world, you'll see that nobody's doing it. So then you know it's not a fluke. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dookie or shit or boo-boo or dung upon your faces. So Abba is going to take doo-doo. See, y'all so worried about how I talk, but you didn't hear that? What would you rather have? Somebody harshly and sharply rebuke you? Or would you rather have somebody come and take some caca and rub it all over your face? What do you want done? What do you think is more offensive? What I'm saying or what Abba says he gonna do? That's what I thought. So humble your ass down, because that's what I thought. He says, I will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feasts, and one shall take you away with it. And you shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you. Watch this. That my covenant might be with Levi, says I am of armies. See, told you it was about the priest. The priesthood is Levi. That's why when you read the Old Testament, you read Leviticus. Leviticus, Levi. You see it? But I'm not of Levi. I'm of the order of Melchizedek. Why? So that I could purify the priest of Levi. Correct them. That's why. And when you come to correct them, what do they turn and do to you? They seek to kill you. Isn't that what happened with Yahushua? So it is this day. You see it? Because they're children of their father. That's why. And he was a murderer. So what are they? Did they accept a murderer? So the world hears its own, loves its own. But they gave Christ away to be crucified. And they said crucify him with one accord. But they accepted a murderer. So it is this day. That my covenant might be with Levi, says I am of armies. My covenant was with him of life and peace. Do you hear it? What is life and peace? The carnal mind is death. The spiritual mind is life and peace. See how that connect like a Lego? So my covenant was to be spiritual. I have chosen you, Levi, out of the 12 tribes to remain a spiritual tribe so that you could serve me. And so since you're spiritual, then you're not concerned with the physical life. That's why you don't have land. That's why you don't do physical work and you survive off of tithes and offerings. You see it? That's how you shall live, off of the temple work that you do. Because you were supposed to be spiritual, but they lost their spiritual understanding and they turned to carnal, beggarly, weak-ass things. Didn't they? Let's see. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me. So he received these things because of the fear that he feared me. That would be Moses, you see? And was afraid before my what? My name. When did this happen? At the burning bush, niggas. Who was there? Moses. What tribe was Moses from? Levi. See? So he received the Spirit and became one with God. That's what you do when you become the Spirit. You become one with God or as God on the earth. Does it say that about Moses? But the rest of them were blinded. Is that not what the Bible said? So they couldn't understand what Moses was saying. That's why he had to wear a veil, because they could not steadfastly look to the end of that thing which is abolished. They couldn't understand. So they weren't spiritual. Okay, then. He says, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me and in peace and equity, and did turn many from iniquity. See? For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the angel or messenger, see, of I am of hosts. But here it goes, little flock. So he was spiritual, Moses that is. But after Moses and after the Aaron and his sons start to take the priesthood, what happened? They got corrupted. Let's see. They turned from the spirit. They considered the spirit to be of no profit and no value, for bribes, to get filthy lucre. That's what they were focused on. To have temple prostitutes having sex with them. To be gluttons and eat up all the tithes for themselves. Continuing. But ye are departed out of the way. See? And you cause many to stumble at the law. When you become carnally minded and then you tell people to keep the law based on the carnal mind, you cause them to stumble when you do that. It's not carnal. It's spiritual. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi. See? Saith I am of hosts. It's corrupted. They corrupted it. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as you have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. Partial means part. Partial. Have we not all one Father? Have not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Which is to do what? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Why do y'all profane that? By dealing treacherously against his brother, is what Abba says. So y'all breaking my covenant by hating one another. And you hate one another when you don't tell them the truth of the law. And you don't tell them the truth of the law when you leave the spirit out of it. You cause people to error and stumble when you do that. Watch this. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of I am which he loved, and have married the daughter of a strange god, little g. I am will cut off the man that doeth this. So if you leave I am and go to some other name as power, he's going to cut you off. The master and the scholar out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of I am of hosts, armies. And this have you done again. What? Covering the altar of I am with tears, with weeping, with crying out, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering anymore. All y'all do is complain and whine and bitch and moan all day. So I don't even listen to you niggas talk no more. It's supposed to be called the sacrifice of praise. That's what praise sounds like. I'm fucked up. I don't have anything. Nothing good ever happens for me. I'm all alone. I'm unloved. That sounds like praising the name of I am. Like I said earlier in this message, of course it's not. Of course it's not. He says, insomuch that that he regardeth not the offering anymore, or receiveth it with good will at your hand. See? 14. Yet you say, wherefore? Why? Because I am has been witness between you and the wife of your youth, against whom you have dealt treacherously. Yet she is thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. You dealt treacherously with your thoughts and your feelings. Did you know that? It says, dwell with your wife with understanding. Did you? I'm speaking spiritual here. So if you're carnal, you don't understand what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to explain like I usually do. I'm going to keep on moving forward here. And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one? Why did Abba make the man and the wife one? That he might seek a godly seed. So he made thoughts and feelings work in tandem as one, like a man and woman does when they labor and work in the bed and have sex, and then a seed is produced. That's to show you, see, that's the sign. The man and the woman having sex in the bed, making the baby, and she gets pregnant and has a baby. That's a sign of what? When you think something, the male, you penetrate your feelings with that thought. So if you think negatively, you penetrate your feelings with negative thoughts. And if you penetrate your feeling with negative thoughts, if she accepts them or she conceives, she is going to bear a corrupt seed. But if you feed her positive thoughts and right thought, if you feed your wife or your feelings right thought, then she will conceive that, become one with that, and produce a seed that is to your liking. You see it there, little flock of ladies? That's why he did it, so he could seek a godly seed. Godly means loving. A loving experience or a loving manifestation. You see? Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For I am the power of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away. Look, all these people getting divorced. God hates it. So then how come people keep doing it? Because they don't give a damn about God. They're proving that they don't. He says he hates putting away. For one covereth violence with his garment, says I am of armies. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that you deal not treacherously. You have wearied I am with your words. See? Oh, boy, y'all stressing me out, man. Y'all tripping, bro. That's called weary. Y'all have wearied me with your words. Yet you say, wherein have we wearied him? How did we do that? When you say, every one that does evil is good in the sight of I am, and he delighteth in them. Or where is the L of judgment? Y'all weary me when y'all talk like that. Malachi 3. Behold, I will send my angel, Malachi. I will send Malach. I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And I am, who you seek, shall suddenly come to his temple. So I am is the Spirit. The Spirit, in order to animate so that you can see him, needs a body. That's called the temple. You see it? So he will suddenly come into the body that he's going to come into. Even the angel or messenger of the covenant. Even the messenger of the covenant that they broke. The messenger of the covenant, Abba's going to come inside of him. See it? Whom you delight in, behold, he shall come, says I am of armies. But who may abide the day of his coming? Who's going to be able to take it when he comes? And who shall stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire and like fuller's soap. See? And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify who? The sons of Levi. The ones who have turned from the spirit to the carnal, he's going to cleanse them of their error of turning carnal and bring them back to the truth, which is the spirit. See it there? Is that not what's happening here at the School of Marvelous Light? Did it not say the branch, the man whose name is the branch, shall build the temple? So if the branch shall build the temple, behold, the man whose name is the branch, he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple, and he shall sit and bear the glory. Isn't that not what it says? Then who is this temple that God is coming into suddenly? Could it be the man whose name is the branch? The man who built the temple? Let's see. And he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver. Why? That they may offer unto I am an offering in right thought now, righteousness. Now they can actually think right about how to offer to God. He's going to tell you how. Am I? Well, let's see. Offer to Abba the sacrifice of praise. Praise his name, which is I am. I am blessed. I am safe. I am secure. That's praising his name. If you do that throughout your day will be blessed because of it. But if you curse God's name throughout your day, then you will be cursed. Like he said you would be if you don't fear his name. See? Now, if I'm able to do that, there's only one way I'm able to say that. There's only one way I would know to say that. Isn't it? According to what we're reading here? Right then. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant. Now, when is God going to save Judah and Jerusalem? He already told you. Judah and Israel shall be saved when the branch comes on the earth. See? So it's all connecting like Legos. So he says, when this messenger comes and purifies you all, then you're going to now know the right way to praise Abba, to teach, to offer a sacrifice that's actually valuable now. You see? He says, then the offering of Judah and Jerusalem. So then, after he's purified you, now you're going to be pleasant unto I am, as in the days of old and as in former years. And I will come near to you in judgment. And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, the adulterers, the false swearers, against those that press the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, says I am. See, people that don't fear him. For I am that I am. I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers, you are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you. So if you return to I am, then I am's goodness will return to your life. Isn't it clear to understand that? If I've been sick and I say I am healthy, I am now turning myself to the Father by saying his name. I am healthy, taking his name in truth. And because I've done that and praised his name, he will then turn that health to me and give it to me because that's what I have claimed. And as a man thinketh, he is. Clickety, click, 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 click. Correct? All right, then. Now continuing. Return to me, I will return to you, says I am. But you said, wherein shall we return? How shall we return? Will a man rob El? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? See, they don't know they're doing any of this stuff as we saw from the beginning. Wherein? 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 That means how? 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 That's all they're saying. How did we do this? How did we do this? See how ignorant they are? Abba said, y'all done robbed me. They said, how have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings is how. You are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Y'all hear that there, little flock? So they don't take care of the spirit when it comes. Look at Yahusha. The Son of Man, the Spirit, have not where to lay his damn head. Nobody cares for him. Nobody checks on him. Nobody makes sure he has the things needful for himself. Nobody makes sure that he has nothing. They just neglect him completely because that's how they feel about God. They have thrown God out of the picture and don't even consider him. So when God come, you're going to act the same way, aren't you? And where's God coming to? His temple, he said. So where do you bring tithes and offerings to? To the temple of God. But where have y'all been taking it to? To temples made with hands. That's what you've done. God doesn't dwell there. He dwells in a temple made without hands. The branch built a temple and he couldn't have used his hands to build it because he wouldn't be God's servant if he did. So he built the temple within his body that made it suitable for Abba to come inside of it. You see? And now this temple is neglected on the earth because of that. It has nowhere to lay its head. It's pushed out. It's kicked out here. It's kicked out there. It's ridiculed. People hate. People strive against it. People don't care for it. And y'all get the point of what I'm saying. Y'all get the point of what I'm saying here. So y'all robbing God when y'all do that. You have robbed me, even this whole nation. 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. His house is the temple, that more information will come out of it. If you bless it, more information will come out. Same thing with your physical body. You can't even talk. I fasted for 40 days. I know this. You can't muster the energy to use your voice effectively when you haven't eaten. So in order for you to talk, you need to eat so that you can be strong and have the energy and strength to speak. Correct? Well, when the Son of Man is not able to eat and he's just struggling, he has nowhere to sleep, he's dying because of neglect. Same principle. Do you understand it? Watch this. Bring the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith. Test and see. If you bless where the Spirit is, if you pour into that, like he said, if I have sown into you spiritual things, is it such a large thing, a great thing, that I receive your carnal things in return? See? He has to be able to sow spirit to you. If he can sow spiritual things into your life, then he's of God. And so you should take care of him, because that means you're doing it for God. Y'all don't think that? I'm going to prove it to you. See? Prove me, he says I am of armies, if I will not open to you the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. See? And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruit of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, says I am. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a delightsome land, says I am. Hear that? So you're going to be blessed if you bring the tithes into the storehouse. You see it? Your words have been stout against me, says I am. Yet you say, what have we spoken so much against thee? See, everything he says to them, they are confused by it. How did I do that? I did? Wow, really? I did that? Imagine a husband talking to his wife and he's saying, you're so disrespectful. You never listen to what I tell you to do. You never do what I command you to do. All you do is go astray. All you do is talk shit to me and complain about what I have not done for you, how I don't love you. That's all you ever talk about. And she turns to you and goes, what? Really? That's what she's completely ignorant of it. Imagine that. Watch. Yet you say, how have we spoken such against thee? You have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before I am? And now we call the proud happy. See what I told you, little flock? The proud are happy. That's what we say. Yeah, they that work wickedness are set up. That's what you say. You get envious and jealous looking at the carnal neighbors and saying, we're spiritual. What is this profit in us being spiritual? You feel like that because it causes you to be destitute, like I've told you, kicked out on the street, sleeping up under a bridge, not having a bed to lay down in. You say, what profit is that to follow them ordinances and do that? It's because you don't have faith, so you give up and you don't endure. You see it? That's what's going on here. And you get to looking at the other people and saying, well, look at the wicked. They don't give a damn about God. And look how they're all hooked up in the land, sitting all up all high and everything. See? He says, yea, they have tempted ill and are even delivered. Then they that fear I am spake often one to another, and I am hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared I am, and that thought upon his name. See, it's always going to come back to that. Focusing on his name every day. And they shall be mine, says I am of hosts. In that day will I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. So then what's going to cause you to be spared? Because you feared I am and thought upon his name. And look at what all these other people are telling you should do. But look what the grandson's telling you to do. Who's telling you the truth, them or me? And they shall be mine, says I am. In verse 17, verse 18. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serves I am and him that serves I am not. See? Then you'll be able to have discernment now. Once you return to the Father, you will see who actually serves him and who doesn't. And you won't be deceived by the deceivers, will you? Nope. Nope. All right. For behold, Malachi 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, like I told you all, yeah, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, says I am, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Remember the trees that were all destroyed in the dream we talked about yesterday? See how I connecting like a Lego? So when this disaster comes through, it's going to tear everything up. You see it? But unto you that do what? That fear my name. Guys, what do you guys want me to tell you? We've been reading the whole book of Malachi, and he's got one gripe with them. How they use his name. That's the issue. And it remains the issue. Those who use it will be blessed. Who use it righteously will be blessed. If you take it wrong, you won't. What does the commandment say? Don't take my name in vain. But to the carnal mind, he thinks some carnal thought with that. Oh, that means don't say God damn it. Okay, so I won't say God damn it anymore when I talk. Stuff like that. But you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness, right thinking, rise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up. The branch shall grow up out of his place and build the temple. You shall grow up as calves of the stall, and you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, says I am. So just like it is today, I will stomp and trample on anybody who comes against the name of I am with some other name, thinking that you know something, thinking that you teaching people something. If you ain't teaching people the name of I am, then you haven't taught them any damn thing. Is that easy to be understood? That's how I'm trampling. That's where I'm coming with it at. Remember you the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Eliah, same guy we were reading about before, the spirit that ascended up. You see? I will send you Eliah, the prophet. If he didn't have the spirit, then how come Elisha said, give me a double portion of that spirit? See? I will send you Elijah, the spirit, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of I am. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. See that there, little flockulators? You see it? So according to the whole entire book of the angel, of my angel, or my messenger, Malachi, what's the issue, little flock? People not even speaking about the name of I am, nor telling their flocks about the name of I am. The priests specifically not teaching these things. Matter of fact, they're making offerings that are doo-doo. They're shit as far as the Most High is concerned. He said it himself. That's what everything is when you leave my name out of the picture. You can't do nothing without my name. When you say you doing something, who do you say is doing it? All right, little flock. Watch this here. Let's see. Let's go to Matthew 25. Go to Matthew 25, start at verse 31. Now let's see what's going to happen when the Spirit comes, little flock. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, Son of Man, the Spirit, and all the holy angels, messengers, with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He shall bear the glory. He shall sit upon his throne and judge. Isn't that what it says about the man whose name is the branch? Okay, then. So when the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations. What does it say? He shall smite the nations with the rod of his mouth. He shall rule all nations with a rod of iron. And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I, watch, why? Why are you coming in? That's the question. He's going to tell you why. And let's see if these are the things that people tell you are pertinent to God or not. Let's see. Because I was hungry and you gave me food. See? So the Son of Man was hungry. I told y'all that. I even said it on my own messages. Guys, is this such a question to ask? I've been laboring here for an hour and a half, 2 hours talking to you, sharing with you all these spiritual things, and I can't even get a sandwich at the end of that? That's what I was saying on my video. Do you understand why I'm saying that now? Y'all want me to keep giving you these messages, then I have to have my physical body continue to live and be strong so I could speak then, correct? Yeah. How is it going to do that if I ain't got no meat? That's what we just read in Malachi. He said if you give it to him, you'll be blessed. If you bless Israel, you shall be blessed. But if you curse Israel, then what's going to happen to you? Watch. For I was hungry and you gave me meat. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. Then I said I've been sleeping under bridges, sleeping in bandos, living on the street, going from place to place, and you guys have all witnessed it, so you know I'm not making it up. I've done it right in front of you. And yet very few times did anybody ever even speak up and say, oh, grandson, you're living in an abandoned house with no electricity, no power in the middle of the wintertime? That's where you're sleeping? Well, damn. Maybe I can do something to help that situation. Hell no. Fuck no. Niggas just watch my videos, like the shit barely. Thanks, brother, and kept it moving. Correct? And for all y'all that don't think I was actually under a bridge, teaching up under a bridge, doing the same thing I'm doing now while I was living under that bridge, I'm going to show you all the videos to prove it. I'm going to go back to the archives and pull up the videos of me speaking while I was up under that bridge too. So y'all can be like, wait a minute. No matter where he's at, he's still going to do the work. Yeah, I am. Because I'm compelled to do it. Not my will, but the Father's will. So now, why are they going into the kingdom? Because he was hungry and they fed him. He was thirsty, they gave him drink. He was a stranger, they took him in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, you visited me. I was in prison, you came to me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When? When did we see you? When saw we a stranger and took you in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? When did I ever do that for you? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, listen good, inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these, my brothers, you have done it to me. Told you guys that when you bless the servant of God, you're blessing God. But when you don't bless him, when you don't tithe, when you don't bring any of that into the temple where God resides, which are him and his brothers, that's what he told you. That's called the body of Christ. The body is all members, but it's one. So if you do it for them, then you have done it for me. But you'll say you do stuff for God and you do shit for Yahusha, but you'll leave Yahusha's son desolate? Wow. Wow. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his what? Messengers, angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. Out of these things that he's saying, what is it that the church tells you about keeping God's ways, commandments, statutes, and all that? What does that have to do with what he's saying here about why they couldn't enter in or why they could enter in? Let's continue. I was hungry, you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, you didn't take me in. I was naked, you didn't give me any clothes. I was sick, you didn't visit me in prison. And then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see thee? He's going to say the same thing. When did we see you hungry? When? We didn't see you. We didn't even see you. What are you talking about? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not to me. So how do you do things for God? For doing things for the least of his. That's how. He just told you, you ain't going to enter into the kingdom if you neglect just to do it. You will enter in if you do it. Is that plain? And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. Do you understand that, little flock, or do you not understand it? Well, that's the end of the message today, little flock. It was simply about recognizing the Father's name, no longer taking it in vain, but taking it in truth and praising his name, sacrificing throughout your day to praise that set apart name of I am. Speak the truth of that name and no longer vain. And then go forth and take care of those who have the same spirit. See how simple that is? Who are teaching the same things. If you find one who's teaching this truth, then you should take care of them according to what we just read. Because you're eating from them. You're receiving from them. So then you should just receive, and never give anything. That's the kind of friend you are? You'll go to your friend's house, eat all their groceries, use all of their amenities, internet and bathroom and electricity and every damn thing and heat and every damn thing. But you'll never, ever give him anything? He gets hungry and he goes, friend, give me a sandwich or something. Nah, man. And you just eat your own sandwich and go, nah, man, I ain't got enough for me and for you. Well, what about him when you came and ate up all his shit? What about him when you came and sucked up all his electricity and bills and every damn thing was piled up because you was there at his house? What about that? Well, you'll be cursed. That's what we read today. Or you can be blessed. It's really up to you guys about what you're going to do now. You're going to have to decide that these niggas have all lied to you and that they have all been lauded up and lifted up because they've deceived you. So it's time you come back to the truth and no longer are deceived. And then bring the tithes into the storehouse so that there be meat. That's what he said. And he'll open up a blessing that you can't even contain it if you do that. See that there? The spiritual blessings that have come out of that temple, you won't even be able to receive it all. See that there, little flock? So y'all decide today who you serve. Life and peace or death. You decide. Silawam Israelah.